Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Farmhouse. I'm Candace Worzbowski.
And I'm Stephanie Spiker.
And we're back after having a little break.
Yeah, today we have another special Farmhouse episode for you, which all of them are special, but this one is especially special because today we are keeping it all in the Lancaster Farming family. We have Melissa Harrop as a guest today. She works here with us at Lancaster Farming. She's the markets editor, and she also lives on a farm. Her and her husband farm in Chester County, and she's involved with Farm Bureau and she is all things farming. And I'm excited to get her in the farmhouse, in the studio with us, and she'll get to tell you guys all about her life.
All right, sounds good. Melissa, welcome to the Farmhouse. Thank you for joining us in studio, in person.
Thank you so much for having me. This is going to be so much fun. I'm so looking forward to it.
Yeah, I feel like it's always a treat when we have one of our friends and our coworkers in here. Last time we had Taylor, and now we have Mel. So we'll start it off the way we always start things off here, and that is with the question, did you always want to farm?
Absolutely not.
No? So tell us about your journey to agriculture then.
So I grew up in a middle-class development in suburbia, in between Downingtown and Westchester in Chester County. About 45 minutes outside of Philly. So I grew up riding horses, which in that area is not really considered agriculture at the time in the mid to late 80s. So production, agriculture, farming, livestock, that was not in my head at all whatsoever. Not until after I had gone through a year of college and gone through the military and met my husband, who was a dairy farmer, and opened my eyes, so to speak, to the world of that. And then I fell in love with it. So, yeah.
Nice. So tell us about your farm today and what you're doing on your farm.
So today we have about 10 and a half acres of ground that we live on. We have some dairy steers. We have dairy cows that live at a dairy farm in the southern part of the county, out in Pocopson Township. And we have some market goats that are my daughter's 4-H project animals. It's her own little herd. We also have some rented ground. We have about 30-ish acres of rented ground that we do hay, as well as some corn and soybeans that we crop rotate.
Nice. So do you guys milk currently?
No.
Okay.
No, we do not. All the milk cows are down at Bailey's Dairy at Pocopson Meadow Farm, which is friends of ours, and our milk cows go there and are there right now currently. And they have their own processing plant, and they bottle their own milk.
Oh, that's very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have to ask, does it ever feel like it's just like you have so many plates spinning? Because, you've got the cows over here, and you've got the crops over there, and you've got the goats, and everything else I know that you're also dealing with.
It does. It does. Life's gotten a little bit calmer now that there's only one of the kids at home. We have 3 kids combined. That my older 2 are not my husband's. And they're adults now. So they're out on their own. My older son is in the Marine Corps. My middle son just graduated high school and is working out in Coatesville and lives with his dad. And then my daughter's the only one at home, and she's 11, and she's the only one I have to really worry about at this point. But yeah, it does get a little crazy going to the crop ground, taking care of the animals at home, doing the normal family stuff of visiting family members, my in-laws and my mom and dad, and then, going to check out the milk cows, all the stuff and things that goes along with normal stuff plus farming. It's insane sometimes.
Yeah, keeps you busy. Well, speaking of insanity, so recently you had to move house, and you had to do it pretty quickly. Could you tell us about what happened there in your experience?
Absolutely. So we used to live on a big farm. It was over 250 acres in the middle of Exton, right on Route 100 and the Turnpike interchange. My husband's family has rented that farm for a very long time. We're talking 30 years. And at the time, in June 17th, it was Father's Day last year of 2023. The people that own the farm had sold it. It was going to be developed into distribution warehouses, which is what's currently happening to it right now. And they were like, oh, time to go. So you have 30 years of farming equipment, stuff and things, a household of itself, and livestock and hay and straw and everything that we had to figure out where it was going to go. So my husband and I and 2 out of the 3 kids lived there along with my mother and father-in-law in the house. And so we had to kind of figure out how we were going to move everything and where it was all going to be within 30 days.
Yikes.
That is nuts.
Such
I can't imagine
a short...
just moving a house in 30 days, much less farming equipment. Because it's not like, with your house stuff, if you have to, you can rent a storage locker or something until you figure things out. You can't put like a combine in a storage locker.
No, it doesn't fit. It's surprisingly enough. But yeah, multiple tractors, and then farmers are who farmers are. So they're all hoarders, in case anybody didn't know that, because, that tractor broke down and we got a new tractor, but it's the same kind of tractor, just, a newer model. So this could possibly be parts for that. So we have to keep it as a parts tractor. I mean,
I feel like that's like girl math, but like farmer math, right?
Yes,
like farmer math.
100%.
Like, keep the old tractor. You never know.
I'm going to fit into those jeans someday. Yeah. I'm going to keep them.
Yeah.
It'll happen. Yeah. No, it doesn't. But the theory's sound. Yeah. The theory is sound.
Yeah. So, obviously you are now settled and into your new space. I know everything is not perfect and settled, but at least you're there. You're in your new place. You have the land you have now. But obviously it's something that's come up a lot is farmland getting developed, especially in Pennsylvania with warehouses and housing as well. But I think warehouses has really been the big thing in Pennsylvania. And you live in Chester County. So for those of you who are listening who are not Pennsylvania people, Chester County is, as Mel said, very close to Philly. It's pretty suburban for the most part. So, what, from your perspective of a farmer who's gone through losing land, what is, the risk and the danger of all of this development going on that is taking out our farmland?
Well, the biggest risk, I think, right now, especially in Chester County, is that was a county that was built on farms. I mean, all counties were, let's be real. When everything was settled, everybody farmed their own food. Everybody provided for their own family and their communities. But Chester County has some of the best soil on the East Coast. And all of that is being taken over in order to put developments and warehouses and, shopping malls and all those things. So I think the biggest risk right now, I would have to say, is the difference between ag land preservation and open space preservation. There is a huge difference, because open space preservation, you're not allowed to farm it.
Oh.
So there is different grants and different laws from, the Department of Conservation and other government entities that allow you to preserve open space, not farm it, but you can do wetlands. You can have walking trails. You can take 1,500 acres and put 3 3-acre homes on it and a walking trail and a wetlands and call it open space preserved. You're still building on it.
Right.
It's still happening. While ag land preservation done through your county, done through your township, your municipality, and the Department of Agriculture, obviously, allows you just to keep farming. Keep doing production agriculture to the land, which keeps the land aerated, it keeps it healthy, it provides the community. Having a food shortage is a real thing, and it's coming. Less than 2% feeds the entire population plus the rest of the world with exports. So how are we going to keep up with that? I think that would be the biggest issue that I see coming.
Yeah. It's such a tough, like, thing to wrap your head around and to actually, like, have a nuanced conversation about. Because we have done, I guess it was last year, we did a pretty big article where a bunch of us on the staff, like, contributed to about talking about specifically in Pennsylvania and warehouses coming. And it's tough because there's so much that goes into it with, like, zoning and getting things rezoned. And it's hard to get something zoned ag when it's not zoned ag. And, like, you know, it's hard to get farms preserved because there's a waiting list. I mean, it's such a complicated issue that definitely has some very, like, serious consequences to it down the road that maybe you don't think about today. But we're in such a society where people expect, you know, Amazon Prime, I want something in 2 days. Well, if you're going to get it in 2 days, you have to have somewhere to store it. So if you need somewhere to store it, you need a warehouse. Like, what a complex issue.
It really is.
It does make me sad. Like when you said that, like, Chester County has some of the best soil. You know, like Lancaster has amazing soil. There's a reason why there are so many farms here. And to think that that soil is being wasted on these kind of development projects when I'm sure there's soil elsewhere that might not be as fertile that maybe would be a better choice. But again, the other thing with Chester is that it's so close to Philly and, like, shipping routes, because Philly is right, you know, in the middle of that corridor of,
and you have the pier
New York, Philly, you know,
New Jersey,
Baltimore,
Delaware, Maryland.
DC. Yeah. So it's just like, it's just like, I know the convenience is there, but it's just like, at what cost?
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah. So you mentioned earlier that you spent time in the military. So we just wanted to ask you about not only you can, if you feel comfortable sharing your experience as a veteran, but also where do you think there's convergence between being a vet and being a farmer? I think actually you've written on this before.
I did. I think a year or so ago I did the staff column about.
So hard to remember all the stuff you've written, right?
I
It's
know.
Like, it happened at some point.
I think I did. Yeah. So I was in the Army from 2002 to 2006. I enlisted September 11th of 2002.
Wow.
And then I was medically discharged in 2006. I was an automated logistical specialist. As my son calls me, I was a pogue. So I was a paper pusher. So we have terms for each other depending on our job description. But I ran a supply warehouse for 2 MP companies and a chemical company, which, you know, was great and I loved it. And then I went to Operation Iraqi Freedom. I got injured and came home, and they was like, yeah, you can't be in the military anymore. And I was like, well, that was my career. What do I do now? Farming was something that kind of saved me, because when you go into the military and they teach you all the discipline and they teach you, you know, what you should be doing, and you either accept it or you don't. There's some people that the military is not for, and there's some people that embrace it and make it their own, and that becomes their life, and they usually go career. When you're someone like me who embraced it and you wanted that to be your career, and then you get told, yeah, but now you're injured and now you can't. Your world kind of goes, wait, what?
Yeah.
Why? You have your little, like, 4-year-old temper tantrum moment, and you whine a little bit, and then you're like, well, now what do I do? Well, 4 years in, you come out and you try to find a civilian job, and civilian jobs are not the same, and you have to kind of rewire your brain on how to be a normal person again.
Yeah.
Agriculture and production farming was kind of my lifeline in a lot of ways, because it does not matter if it's raining or snowing or almost 100 degrees out.
Today it's approximately going to be 98 degrees when we're recording this.
Yeah, exactly. We're in the middle of the heat dome right now.
We are. But that doesn't matter. You still have to get the barn chores done. You still have to throw hay. Take 2 coolers of water. It doesn't matter. In the Army or the military in general, it is that same type of discipline where it doesn't matter what's going on in the world around you. This is your job, and it still needs to get done. And I found comfort in that. That was familiar. That I can do. Okay, I know this. It's that discipline. You have to get up. You have to do it. A lot of those things, caring for others, caring for your community and being there for your community while also being there for your animals, like your livestock, checking on your crops, being able to fix something in the field quick and in a hurry because you really, really need it to get back out in the field. Well, I had to do that in Iraq. Yeah. Fixing tents, fixing weaponry, fixing, whatever needed to be fixed. Baler twine fixes everything. It is very true. Those similarities, that mindset of getting the job done no matter what, it's very similar. And I think, I know I would love to see as a veteran and as a farmer, having Department of Military and Veterans Affairs, when they do all that transition planning for active duty coming back to civilian, where's our agriculture programs that we are mentoring our veterans in, to be able to show them something that they can come back to and thrive in, maybe.
I think it's a great idea. I also just had an idea sitting here listening to you talk about, all that, and just, we have several holidays honoring military members, as we should. They deserve it. I think that we need one for farmers. I know we have National Ag Day, but
there is a National Farmers Day. But
I feel like that it needs to be more recognized.
Oh yeah,
it should be at the same level as I don't know, Veterans Day or Memorial Day, because
that's true.
Maybe they'll get maybe they'll have more attention paid to them. Yeah. When, the chickens come home to roost and we find ourselves in the middle of this food shortage. But
I feel like National Drink with a Chicken Day. You can
yes.
TikToks for National Farmers. What about National Women Farmers? I'm just saying.
Ooh.
Just putting it out there.
As the farmhouse, we absolutely would support a National Women in Ag Day, everybody.
I bet there is, and we're just not aware of it.
Maybe
because there are holidays out there for literally everything. Did you ever look up? We're going a little off topic here, but it's fine. Did you ever look up? Yeah, if just your birthday, even to see what other weird holidays.
My birthday, I think, is on National Waffle Iron Day.
Nice.
So, which as I'm recording, as we're recording this, my birthday is about a week away. As you're going to be listening to it, my birthday will be past. I feel like I am required to make waffles on my birthday. Yes. Honestly,
I feel like that should be a TikTok.
Yeah.
My birthday is also National Hobbit Day, because I share a birthday with Bilbo Baggins.
Stop.
So, get out. I love it.
September 22nd, in case you guys are interested.
I don't even know. Mine's April 4th. I don't even
We'll have
know.
to look it up after this to see. There's got to be something fun on your...
There's always something good.
In April 4th.
We'll find out what day it is after we record this. All right. Bringing it back in a little bit. You mentioned your daughter, who is pretty much in the prime of fair showing age now. Yes. Since you did not grow up farming, I assume you did not grow up doing livestock showing either.
Going to the fair, yes.
Okay.
Actually showing in the fairs, no.
Okay. So as we are pretty much getting smack dab in the middle of fair season, what do you have tips? Do you have fair mom tips to give out to people? What are your lifelines? What have you learned since you went into this as a mom, not showing as a kid? What have you learned? What can you share with everyone?
You can never be prepared enough. Getting a camper to take to the fair for Fair Week was the best decision I've ever made in my entire life. Prefer one with air conditioning, just saying. Don't just find whatever.
I'm all for air conditioning.
Yeah,
right?
Same.
I'm just putting that out there. It was fixed because my husband loves me. You can't have enough snacks. Can't have enough show supplies. Bulk buy everything. You will run out. And when you're livestock showing, those people, they're your family. It's its own little community. So when you run out of something, they will always be oh, here, I got you. Here you go. We all watch each other's kids. So that's why you need to bulk buy everything, because they're going to eat your food too, and that's fine. We don't care. Relax. Like that would be the biggest piece of advice I'd have for like a farm mom or a fair mom, because not all of them are farmers. Like their kids
Very
are in
true.
4-H, they're leasing a livestock or animal science project, and this is their first time at fair. Relax. It's okay. Take a breath, let your kids have fun, watch the animals for a few, let them go run around and have those experiences and those friendships, and then rein them back in, let them take care of their animal and just enjoy the experience. Because that's really what it is. Whether they're a 4-H, whether they're FFA, whether you're just doing it on your own just to have some fun, let it be the experience. Let it be a good memory. Take the moment to enjoy.
I love that.
Yeah. All right. So, Mel, you're also really active in the Pennsylvania Farm Bureau. So could you tell us what you do at the Bureau? Any news from the Bureau you feel like sharing? Catch us up.
So with Farm Bureau for the county, for Chester-Waddell County Farm Bureau, I've been on the board of directors for 8 years now.
Nice.
Something like that. Yeah, it's been a really long time. For Pennsylvania Farm Bureau, I am the vice chair of our Ag Promo Committee. And I've been the vice chair this is my third term. So yeah, on the state level, county and state, I like to do a lot of the legislative conferences, going to the Capitol building, talking to our representatives. On the county level, I'm also part of the policy development and the legislative process there, talking with county commissioners and representatives in our area to help agriculture really be still prevalent in the county, and do a lot of the education and promotion. Fun news from Farm Bureau. Oh boy. Well, Farm Bill.
It is that time.
It is that time. And
It's been that time.
it has been that time. And from what I understand, it has passed. So very excited about that.
Fingers crossed. Yeah.
Fingers crossed. Let's get it all the way through
Yeah.
and all the way done.
Fully
And-
signed, fully going.
Exactly. And then that'll make me sleep better at night.
I think it'll make a lot of people sleep better at night.
Yeah.
And also, if you guys are listening and you're not aware of what the Farm Bill is, we've been covering it extensively on lancasterfarming.com. Also, if you're listening and you're not a farmer and you either don't know what the Farm Bill is or you don't care what the Farm Bill is, you should still look it up, because
You really should.
You should care.
It will affect you, whether you farm or not. It will affect you. We actually just this week, and we're talking late June, we published an article that was basically 5 reasons you should care about the Farm Bill,
Yeah.
even if you're not a farmer. So you can find those things on lancasterfarming.com, and I beseech you to educate yourself, because this is
please do.
very important legislation.
It's a big deal.
If you really like wearing clothes, I know some people don't, but if you really like wearing clothes, you should care about Farm Bill.
And
if you like to eat,
if you like eating food,
eating food,
If
watching
you like,
sports,
Enjoy having a roof over your head.
yeah,
right?
If you like a nice glass of wine or a craft beer, that's all agriculture too, right there.
Absolutely.
You should care.
Mm-hmm. You really should.
All right, I think we'll all slightly hop off our soapbox for a second.
All right, hopping down.
All right, so obviously, Mel, we know you because you work here with us at Lancaster Farming, so
Yes.
we get to see you in the office and on the Microsoft Teams, because we got to use Microsoft Teams here. What a time! Who doesn't love
What a time to be
Microsoft
alive.
Teams? But anyway, please tell everyone what you do here at Lancaster Farming, because while I have a very basic knowledge of markets and all of that, I certainly don't fully understand them. So Mel, as our markets editor, our expert, what on earth are markets? What do you do here?
So I am the markets editor here. So all of the fun, not the mailbox markets,
That's
not
true.
the classifieds.
For those of you who are Lancaster Farming OGs, mailbox markets are a very special part of the paper, but that's not what we're talking about right now. We'll maybe talk about them some other time, but not right now.
Yeah, so I do the livestock and the poultry and the produce, national and local market reports that are in A section. They're usually in the back of A section. So when you want to know what animals are selling for, what produce is selling for at auction, who had the best price for strawberries at, Sunnyburn Produce Auction. Like, I'm your gal. I'm the one that compiles all those lists and puts them in for you.
Very tedious work.
Extremely. A lot of people don't understand that I am not the one going to the markets. I am not the one.
You don't go to 100 some markets a week?
Don't.
Shocking.
I know.
Because you don't have anything else to
Yeah,
do.
what else is she doing with her day? Come on.
Right. So yeah, unfortunately, I mean, while I do go to auctions for my own animals and, because who can't go to Green Dragon? I love going to Green Dragon. You get the best deals there.
For those of you who don't know, Green Dragon is a farmer's market in Ephrata, Pennsylvania. It is massive, and you can find just about anything there.
But yeah, so unfortunately, I'm not the one getting the numbers. So it's a USDA most of the time. I should preface that. Most of the time, it is a USDA certified reporter that goes to these auctions and sales, and especially the livestock ones, that are looking at these animals that are coming through, and they can grade them by eye.
That's impressive.
It's very impressive.
I feel like that would take a while to be able to really pick that up so quickly, to be able to just look at something and be like, yep.
Oh, 100%. 100%. Like, I can't my husband can't do it. And he's been
farming forever?
his entire life. So, it's you can have an idea, but the ins and outs of it, there's an actual course you can take, and you can get certified to be a markets reporter. And that's where the majority of, especially the animal reports, are coming from. Is from a USDA certified reporter. So if they are at the sale, they are at the auction, they write the report and they submit it to me, then I take it number by number, animal by animal, line by line, and put it into our system so it can go into print and then on our website.
All right. And what, of all of that tedious work that you have to do and all the work that the reporters have to do, like, what is the point, right? What is the benefit of farmers having these reports?
So the benefit is that when you have animals that you are selling, when you have crops, grain crops that you're selling, small animal, poultry, produce, you actually know a roundabout idea, because they do change weekly, or an estimated idea of what that product is going to bring at the market. My father-in-law kept steers in the field in order to what he called his savings account, so that, if something were to come up, he could take those to market, know a roundabout idea of what he thinks they're going to bring, and be able to put it in the savings account or pay that bill or whatever emergency thing came up. And that's a good, idea. It's a good theory, because having the reports, the market reports from the week before, you're going to have that estimated cost of what, that's going to bring at market.
Nice. Yeah, that's definitely important. So you're not like going in blind. You got to be able to plan for, these things.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'll say the biggest phone call that I get is people that maybe are just getting into farming, or they have, backyard chickens, or somebody dropped off a pig and they want to, yeah, it happens, I swear. But somebody dropped off an animal to them and they're like, oh, we need to take this to the auction. We need to take this to market. How do we read these reports? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So I'm really excited, because that's going to be something that will be coming up soon. Will be in a section with the market reports, is a little series on how to read the market reports. But the biggest question is especially the livestock reports on how do you read that. So I actually have an example written down that I'll share.
Go for it. I love it.
Okay, so animals are either sold by the head or by the hundredweight. You'll see that as the head would obviously be each per animal. Hundredweight is usually marked down as CWT. So that would be your hundredweight. So for example, if you have lambs where it says $75 to $210 on the page, that's sold in a range from $75 to $210 per 100 pound.
Okay.
If you're going to break it down, it's 75 cents to $2.10 per pound.
That could be a big difference.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's how you would break that down. If it's hundredweight, we're putting in whole numbers. We're not breaking it down. If it's by pound, you'll see it say right on there. I'll have it listed per pound. Or it'll say at the top of the report, everything here is sold by per head or each.
Okay.
So just there's your little markets tip.
Yeah. Wow, we always learn so much
I know,
hosting this
we
show,
do.
honestly. I'm like just racking up all the knowledge by talking to all these women farmers.
Learn something new every day.
Every
you got
day.
to. You got
But
to.
yeah, all these how to read market things that we're going to have in the paper are also going to be on our website. So if you guys
So excited.
are
Yes.
like getting into farming or you've just never utilized market reports before, we will have these resources for you in print and online.
By the time that this episode comes out, it will be available online. It's not going to be like episodic online. It's just going to be all one big fat resource for
You'll
you
have
to get
everything
through.
you
Love
need.
it.
But it'll be there. Yeah.
So
And in print, it will be there weekly. We'll have a little blurb weekly
Yeah.
set up for everybody.
it's a great resource for sure. So
Yeah.
that actually brings us to our final question, which is the
boy.
same thing for everyone. And we always joke it's the big one. So mentally prepare. Here we go.
All right, hold on. Let me
Take a breath. All right.
Okay.
Okay.
Ready.
What does being a woman in ag mean to you?
Oh, man, that is a big one.
Mm-hmm.
Being a woman in ag means that I'm giving opportunities to other women and to my daughter especially to be able to help her community, to be able to feed the world, to be independent, to have a place where she can put her roots down and grow her roots, figuratively and physically, so that she has the best future imaginable, and that can be whatever she wants it to be.
That's awesome.
Shout out to Ellie.
Shout out to Ellie.
I'd say goat shower and softball star.
Yes.
Right? Yeah.
The coolest 11-year-old.
Right? Well, most people think she's 16 because she's also the tallest 11-year-old.
Well, I mean, that doesn't
That's
surprise
because
me.
her
You're
mom
pretty
is
tall.
tall,
Yeah.
everybody. You can't see Mel, but she's quite tall herself.
I was
I
actually
am.
one of the first things I said when I met you. I was like,
You're
wow,
so
Mel's
tall.
really tall.
Well, that's what I look really short next to my boys, though, because they're like 6'5".
Big guys. Yeah.
Oh,
Amazing.
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm going to be the shortest person in the family real soon.
Aw.
I will be too eventually when my little ones grow
I'll
up. I have a
own it.
feeling. I'm like, yeah. I always joke that I'm the tiniest person when I'm with my in-laws, which is a change because I'm one of the tallest people in my mom's side of the family. But yeah, I'm like a little China doll when I'm with a weird spouse family.
I love it.
All right. Well, Mel, thank you so much for joining us in studio at the farmhouse. It's always super fun for us when we can keep it in the Lancaster Farming family. So thank you for being here.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. This was so much fun. I really enjoyed this. And I'm loving actually being in the studio.
In studio, yeah.
It's nice
And
to
not
have
just
someone
standing
here
outside
with
the
us.
door saying, "Oh, recording in progress." Okay.
Yes,
I'm
yes.
actually in here.
You're
I
in
can
the club
check
now.
that off my bucket list.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Well, that was certainly fun to have Mel in here in studio with us at the farmhouse, and yeah, it's just like chit-chatting at this point. It's like regular office chit-chat when we have someone who we work with who comes in.
Yeah, it's a nice atmosphere. Not that we don't love talking with everyone, through Zoom and whatnot, but there's something special about having it, in the Lancaster Farming family. So we mentioned some potential holidays when we were talking with Mel, and we had time since then to look these up. And just as we suspected, there is a National Women in Agriculture Day. We missed it this year, but next year we're going to have to celebrate. It is March 22nd. It is actually my mother's birthday, so that is good to know. And then Mel also was wondering, what holiday is on her birthday, and so we looked that up, and it's actually one that is very applicable to Mel and what she does, because April 4th is actually Hug a Newsperson Day. So put that on your calendars.
What a great holiday to have as news people. I enjoy that holiday exists.
It's certainly more relevant to her life than Hobbit Day is to mine.
Right, exactly.
So we're happy to be back. We'll be back next week with another episode, but for now, we are going to sign off.
Thank you all so much for listening. Welcome back to the farmhouse again. And if you enjoyed this episode, please give us, a like, give us a rating, a review, give us a subscription, all of the things.
If you have any thoughts or questions about today's podcast or anything you've heard on this podcast before, you can always reach us by email at farmhouse@lancasterfarming.com.
Yeah, we're on TikTok, we're on Instagram, we're on Facebook as @Lancaster Farming. So give us a follow. We post some fun things in all of those places. And again, thanks for listening, and we will talk to you all next week.
I'm Candace.
I'm Stephanie.
I'll see you later.
Bye. This episode of The Farmhouse is copyright 2024 by Lancaster Farming newspaper, part of the Steinman Communications family.
It was written by Stephanie Spiker and Candace Worzbowski. It was produced by Eric Herlock and Matt Lee. The music you've heard throughout the show is courtesy of Tim Bird Shadow.